one that's running my mouth.
And we are live. Thanks, Mike. Welcome, everyone out there on YouTube and Facebook land. Hopefully, you're watching us on YouTube and you're getting a really clear picture because I have to say that David, Michael, and Ed pictures are spectacular. So if you're having any issues with the resolution, it's obviously your viewing platform, not us.
100%.
Welcome, everyone. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. We're jumping on live tonight to talk about the Training for Survival SHTF Preparedness Camp. Shit hits the fan. And talking about the upcoming October camp and exactly what it's going to entail and what we're going to be doing and all that other good stuff. So as you're joining us live, feel free to say hello, type in the comments that you're online with us, hit that like button if you like the content and you enjoy what we're putting out. And how are things with you guys? How are things down there in the beautiful state of humidity and rain, Connecticut, from what I understand? It's like the rainforest, right?
Yeah. It's pretty nice today,
Yeah, you captured it quite well.
Yeah, it's been a lot of rain and humidity from what I understand, right?
Yeah, it's a state of sadness. Thank you.
Well, we are no other comment.
I'm saying that I just got back from Maine, so everything else is a state of sadness. So
right, of course.
So you're in depression mode, recovery.
Of course.
Yeah, we're all down. We're all down. As soon as this is over, I will be drinking bourbon.
Well, let's get right into it, guys, and let's start digging in about the October camp. We're really excited to announce the official name and theme, which is Training for Survival, Shit Hits the Fan Preparedness Camp. This camp is going to be covering combative training, firearm training, and also emergency preparedness. And we're going to dig into that a little bit. And as we're kind of going through the content for tonight, feel free to ask questions as we're going along. Jeff, great to see you online. Thanks for saying hello. And we're going to dig right in now. So the official dates for October camp are October 23rd through the 26th. It is a Wednesday through a Saturday. We've made some adjustments with the times. We're going to be starting during the day on Wednesday, and we're going to be finishing up late in the afternoon on Saturday. So it's going to be a really full-packed camp coming up in October. On Wednesday, we're going to be working with some rifle training and also working with some pistol training. We're going to go over that in just a minute. And same is going to continue for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So let's get into it, guys. And I'm going to bring up my handy-dandy notes here because I had some people with some questions. And we'll go over the questions first, and we'll kind of dig into to the camp and exactly what's going to be happening. So we have a rifle track and a pistol track. Let me go over this first for those of you who don't know. You're going to have the option on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to either go to a rifle track and work with your rifle or to go on a pistol track. And you can mix that up a little bit dependent on qualifications, and we're going to cover that as well. So like on Thursday is going to be Rifle 101. And let's hop over to Mike and Ed, who are going to be leading the Rifle 1-on-1, and let them kind of talk a little bit about exactly what that is going to cover and who should attend the Rifle 101, because that was actually a question from, let's see, I can't figure out where it is, but it doesn't matter. But somebody asked a question, what is Rifle 101 going to cover, and who should attend that Rifle 101 class? So guys, take it away.
Good, Mike. You're good at this. The 101. You know.
No. Well, it's you're newer shooter, just getting into the craft of long distance shooting. You're learning your foundational, your positional shooting, how your weapon operates, proper cleaning. So we're covering the basics, so you can build up into hopefully show that you're proficient enough to do the technician if that's what you wanted to do, or to get you to the spot that you can operate or work with us on that other line.
So the Rifle 101, if someone's been hunting for a number of years and kind of understands the rifle, would that be something that someone that has a basic understanding of the rifle would get something out of it?
Yeah, because I think one of the things that we're going to try to do also is get them in a position where they understand what their rifle is mechanically capable of.
Okay.
Using the ammo they have. One of the
it.
things we're doing, and every hunter would appreciate that. So that's a good thing.
And the range, we're going to be anywhere from 100 to 300 yards in the Rifle 101, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll start off at 100, and then we'll work our way up. Boy, I got
Okay.
a lag here. It's terrible.
Great. So yeah, we apologize for the pixelization on the screens here. Hopefully you're getting a clear audio for you guys on social media. And feel free to put a comment in if you have a question for us, and hit that like button if you like the content. So during the time that the Rifle 101 is going to be happening, we're going to be doing a pistol course as well. So David and I will be leading the pistol portion while you guys are doing the Rifle 101. So you'll have options. If you feel like you're qualified enough, you don't want to work at the rifle, or you have no desire to work in the rifle course, you can work on the pistol course on that Thursday. So there's going to be options and tracks you could jump into. The following day, which is Friday, we're going to be working a rifle technician class, and then we're going to be working some more dedicated pistol. Before I go into the rifle technician class, let me kind of clarify something for someone that might be watching this and thinking, hey, this is too advanced for me. I don't want to do the camp. It's just, and I get this a lot. They think like we're doing forward rolls with black tactical gear and crawling underneath razor wire and all this crazy stuff. And really, the camp was designed for the civilian that wanted to have the confidence to be able to carry their firearm to defend themselves and their loved ones. And their skill level could have been just picked up the firearm from the first time, or have had a firearm inside the home for a number of years, but really haven't done much training with it. They went to a range, shot at paper targets, did their NRA pistol course wherever they live, but other than that, they really haven't done much. And that's where this shines, right? It gets you off the mark of shooting just down an alleyway at a paper target with a lot of restrictions, get you into an open range where we can be working, drawing from a holster position, which you can't do in a lot of range, and moving while shooting. And we start off on Wednesday with basics, right? So on the pistol course, what will happen is on that first day is that we'll have people that are brand new to the camp, have never attended before, and we're going to go over basic foundational skills, basic safety, and operation of a firearm, and get them shooting and hitting their target properly. While that is going on, another pistol instructor will be working with those that have already attended camp, and they're going to be working through a little bit more, getting the dust off, and get them working and acclimated with pulling from a holstered position, getting on target, maneuvering their weapon, manipulation of their weapon, and so forth. So no one will be left behind in the sense that if you've attended past camps, you're not going to be standing there like, okay, well, I've kind of already done this already. There's plenty of instructors. The student to instructor ratio is tight. So one pod of students will be working with an instructor on one thing, another pod of students will be working with another instructor on another, and another and another. So it allows us to be able to have those new attendees, make sure that they're feeling comfortable, building their confidence. And we have a couple of attendees that have come to camps that want to purchase a firearm, want to carry, and this is their first introduction to it. And this is a great introduction because you have a wealth of knowledge between the four of us there working with you, building your confidence on how to handle that firearm. And by the end of camp, you are a changed person, and you feel comfortable carrying that firearm and leaving and making that firearm decision for purchase and carrying it with you on a regular basis. Now, I just mentioned something that was important. Some people come to camp and they haven't purchased yet. They're doing their NRA pistol class while they're with us so that they can apply to their pistol permit. So there's opportunities for you to be able to get a weapon from us to be able to use for your camp training. That will also allow you to try a couple different grips on handguns from different style of Glocks and SIGs and whatever, to be able to say, hey, I like this one. This feels the best for me. This worked best for me in camp. That's what I want to be comfortable with. That's what I want to purchase. So there's options for that as well. Please contact us if you want more information on that portion of not coming to camp with your own firearm and wanting to know what would be available, and we can accommodate that. And if you want to make the purchase at the end, David can sure as heck get you taken care of as an FFL, and being able to make that final purchase decision, get you taken care of. So the importance I want to address is that you could be brand new. You can be someone that's shot with us for many camps. We have a lot of return customers that come to just about every camp, and they're always getting something new, and they're always pushing forward in their curriculum and in their standards of shooting and their proficiency. And we handle everything in between. So please don't feel when you look at this camp saying, it's too advanced for me. it is an investment. And it's an investment in yourself. And with everything that's going on in the world right now, if you want to make an investment that's going to pay back, well, hell, this is it. This is the place where you should be spending the money to invest in yourself, to be able to protect yourself and your family and become more confident. Anything you guys
Jamie,
want to add?
On something. You touch on something that's very important here.
Yeah.
There, you have 4, 5 instructors on the range with you.
Right.
We are all teaching the same material. It's the same standards, but we do it a little differently. Each one of us is, you may not mesh with one, and you may find another instructor just has a different way about him and just handles it differently.
Yeah.
You're going to have that mix. And as we develop you and help you gain your confidence and your skill, and you become more competent with the firearm and handling, we don't necessarily, like a lot of people are like, oh, they push you, we force you out of your comfort zone. We're not going to shove you off a cliff out of your comfort zone. We're going to help you get yourself to feel like, okay, they're not making me this. I want to be there. And I'm comfortable enough. I feel like I've gained enough to do some of this stuff that we're going to do, and some of the drills and some of the activities. Right. And if you're not there and you can't find yourself doing it, we modify. So it's not rigid. Everybody's going to fit into a box, and you have to fit in this box. It's not how we roll. We're not expecting, and if anybody does forward rolls, it's because I fell down. We're not doing that crazy stuff.
I've been there.
It's not what we're here for.
Yeah, we all have.
It
happens.
Everybody's like, oh, we're going to jump out of moving vehicles. No, we're not. No, we're not. Let's be realistic here. We're not trying to train you to be.
We're going to stay in the moving vehicles.
We're going to stay in them.
So you drive the vehicles.
Yeah, but you know what you said.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but what you said, coming out of your comfort zone, I think it's really important. It's something you have to do. You have to come out of that norm that you're used to, that every day going to the range. You need to change. You need that change, and we'll get you there, and it will be a gradual change, and it'll be comfortable where you can adapt. And like Michael said, you just speak up, tell us what you're not connecting with, and we'll pull you to the side, and we'll get you there.
Oh, absolutely.
It won't take long.
And believe me, we've been doing this long enough that we can visually see who needs a little bit extra work or who needs a little bit extra help. We also know who needs to be pushed a little bit harder too. And sometimes we give you a little bit of a push and take you to that limit so that you realize and build that confidence. And you should look back and say, I'm glad they did that. I understand now. I get it. I understand the purpose of that, and I built that confidence. But we're never going to put anybody in jeopardy or push you to a point where it's unsafe for you or for anybody else. But it's our job as an instructor, that you leave with that confidence, and you move forward in the learning process, not just coming and kind of staying stagnant. Between your first day to your second day, there should be a progression. Second day to third day, there should be more progression. Third day to the fourth day, there should be even more progression, right? And if you're saying, hey, I just want to stay where I am on day one, then you're not pushing hard enough, and we're not doing our jobs by allowing you to stay at that level. I mean, it's important that everyone progresses. And if you look at our testimonials on YouTube, and go to our camp page, and you can listen to testimonials, you're going to hear, and people from all over the country that have trained with us that have had that experience and understand that this is life-changing type of an event. And that's why these people come back and train with us a couple times a year to be able to continue to excel in their training, which also brings to the point that it's important that when you leave with us, even if it's going to a basic range, that you're staying on top of your fundamentals and your practice, so that when you come back to us, it's an easier progression getting back on track and moving forward. So on Wednesday, it's going to be a basic skills class for brand new attendees, and it's going to be brushing off the dust and getting moving with the past attendees. On Thursday, it's going to be the next step for those new attendees. They're going to be working on the proficiency, their foundational skills, a little bit of moving and shooting, mag exchanges, tactical and emergency, and building that confidence from that day one. Past attendees, they're going to be working those drills, but a little bit at a faster pace with a little bit more manipulation and stress maybe added into the drills. Again, one instructor working with the newer students and new camp attendees, another instructor working with the past camp attendees, another instructor maybe singling out one or two people that need a little bit extra work on something, another instructor overseeing and helping one of the, I mean, we really, really, one of the biggest things we hear on the testimonials is that you guys really mesh together, communicate together well, and make sure that everyone's getting everything they possibly can out of this camp. And you're paying for it and you're getting it. So on Thursday, while the Rifle 101 is going to be going on, we're going to be having pistol training that's happening simultaneously at the same time in a different part of the range. So you're going to have options. On Friday, we're going to take the next step with those new attendees, which I don't want to consider them new anymore because they've trained with us for 2 full days. That's going to be life-changing in itself.
Something to kind of point out, Jamie, is like it almost sounds like we're rushing them. It's really not the case. It's only a few days, but it's a full training day.
Right.
I mean, we're on the range 9 a.m. We're off the range 6.
Yeah.
And we break for a short period for lunch, and you're on the range and engaged in something right throughout the day. There's not a lot of sitting around, and it's intense.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily beyond somebody's skill level, but it's a lot of work.
Right.
So you're getting the work in, and that's how we can get you progressing so quickly over 2 days. You're going to see a huge improvement in your own skills and comfort.
And when you say intense, it's not physically intense where, because we have clients in their 70s that attend camp on the regular basis, are able to do camp. Intense is in mentally intense because of the subject matter of what we're discussing. We're talking about engaging a threat. We're not talking about, just shooting at a tin can. We're talking about if someone is threatening you and they're about to take your life or a loved one's life, you're engaging a threat to be able to protect them, right? So the mentality of what we're discussing is intense, and the physical aspect of pulling the trigger and moving and mag exchanges is also stressful, right? Just drawing from a holster position.
And you pointed out already, we have older shooters, and some of our older shooters, and not all of even older shooters, some of our shooters are, limited in what they can do. So some of them can't lay down prone or go to a knee. They're just they can't do a lot of movement.
Right.
So we modify what's going on so they can gain out of it and they can benefit.
Right. Well, we've had students with bad hips, knee replacements. We've had people with hip replacements, shoulders that need surgery but they're trying to do training. Yeah. We had a PASA camp attendee who had a surgery on his hand and wrist that ended up coming to the last camp for a couple of days and working non-dominant hand, right? Because it was dominant hand that he had the surgery on. So these are the mindsets of the attendees and the mindset you should have to continue on with your training, continue progressing. There's always something that could be trained. And even if you have the skill level, if I attend a class with another instructor, I always pick up some nice little pieces of nuggets of information that maybe I didn't get from somebody else. And that's what you're getting from the 4 of us. You're getting a little piece of information where you kind of connect the dots. You're like, oh, I like that. Oh, I like how that was addressed. Oh, I like how this was done with this instructor. And you take that information and you go with it, and that becomes part of what you're going to do and what you're going to put in your toolbox if you need to ever access it to be able to protect yourself and your family. Go ahead, Ed, please.
Keep in mind, too, on Thursday, I got a lag here, so I apologize. I feel like Lou Gehrig in Yankee Stadium right now. But if Thursday's a half-day rifle, too. So, you have the ability to do half rifle, half pistol that day.
Right. And as you're signing up for the camp, you'll have these different tracks that you can choose, and you don't have to make the final decision right now. We're actually working on some of the final pistol courses and what's going to be offered. So you can say, hey, I'm in for camp, put your deposit down, sign yourself up, and then as we get closer to camp, you can kind of narrow down on exactly what you want to attend on certain days. And that also brings me to when you are signing up, you're going to get a questionnaire from us that's going to basically break down exactly your past training, where you've come from in training, if anything at all, what your goal set is for the upcoming camp, what you're looking to accomplish and your goals for this camp. And we meet and we talk about this stuff over and over and over again as camp is coming along and as we're writing out our final curriculum and syllabus to make sure to accommodate everyone that's going to be attending. So it's very customized. Mike brought up a really good point. A lot of courses that you go, it's a box, right? It's cookie cutter. It's like, all right, this is what we're teaching, and this is, if they don't pick it up, they don't pick it up. If they do, they do, and this is the box we're putting them in. That's not T4 survival, and it never has been. It's always been about this person needs this skill set. This person needs to work on that skill set. This person here is really, concerned about firing a firearm and carrying, but knows that she wants to build up that confidence to be able to carry. And we need to work on that. And we have this person over here that's really skilled, served in the military for a number of years, and is now, working another job and is coming up to work on their proficiency and really wants to become proficient with a handgun. We know all these skill sets beforehand. We know their past experiences, if any at all, and we work that into our syllabus and curriculum. And we all know you on the first name basis when you attend. It's not like, oh, who are you and where are you from and what are you looking to gain from this? No, you've already had conversations with us multiple times before you arrive for camp. We have your attendee questionnaire that's filled out, digging into all the details that we need to know. And continue, to work on that syllabus and that curriculum. There's been times a week before we've changed the curriculum in the syllabus because something else has popped up, or we've talked with one of the attendees and learned something new that we wanted to address. So that's what we do, and that's what we're good at. So please, if you're online right now and you have a question, or if you're watching the replay of this and you have a question, type it in the comments. If you like the content, hit the like button as well. It helps us with the algorithm on YouTube. So on Friday, this is the big question. Friday, we have the rifle technicians class, and Friday we're going to be progressing with the pistol. But I know a lot of the questions I've had was, what is the qualifications in order to be in the technicians class? And actually, I had Jimmy from North Carolina who asked that question specifically. Said, what level of proficiency do I need to attain in order to be in the technicians class? So guys, Michael, Ed, if you could please kind of touch upon what's going to happen in technicians class, who it's for, and what do they need to be able to get into that class?
Well, you want to make sure you have a rifle that's mechanically capable of at least keeping, a minute, which is 1 inch at 100 yards, and have the ability to be able to do that. You should have a pretty comfortable relationship with your equipment to the point where you're pretty accurate at 100 yards. Because what's going to end up happening, Michael and I plan on putting these shooters, and keep in mind, we met a lot of people at camp that are, last time I was there anyways, for my first time instructing, you have some talented human beings that attend this camp. I mean, like really good. I call it the technician class because there was one individual in particular that I nicknamed her the technician because her skill set was so high. She could have participated in the technician class easily, walk away with a dope book, etc. So, so I know that there's a lot of people that they're looking to take it to the next level. And Mike and I plan on, in essence, bringing you through the same course of fire him and I did before we would go to competitions to get our dope books ready, so that we knew our elevations and our accuracy rating and what we were capable of doing at those different ranges. So it's going to be intense. That's going to be a full day. And then we're going to go back out and we'll do a little bit of nighttime shooting. So if you sign up for the precision, you're going to get your money's worth. I can promise you that. And at the end of the day, you will have a dope book. We're hoping that we can do it out to 700 yards. I'm going to do everything in yards. We do meters, but we'll do yards for this. And we're hoping that we're able to do it in increments. We have that planned in the curriculum. And it will be a challenge. You'll walk away with the card. I have an Excel spreadsheet that I use for it. You can print out. Kind of looks, a little bit like this. All pixelated because my connection today is horrible. And I apologize.
Internet service providers.
I'm in the boondocks in the North Woods in Maine here, and fiber optic 100, up and down and crystal clear. And you guys are in the middle of like everything. And look at you guys. I don't know. I can't figure it out.
Too many people around here.
Yeah,
sucking up the bandwidth.
It's terrible.
So I had a question from someone. Let's see. Frank in Miami asked, What is a dope book?
No, it's your data. Basically, there's several different acronyms for it. If you look it up online, it could be, positioning is P, E is equipment, O is, operations. You can pretty much put in any letters you want as far as what it is, right? Everybody has their own thing. Military snipers have one. You talk to a Marine, they'll give you something else. Bottom line is, it's an acronym, but it's basically the one-stop shop for everything you need to refer to as to where your rifle's going to hit at various places. That's what it's designed for. It's like your rifle's Bible is what it is. And it's personalized for you. So in other words, it has to meet, like when they say the E, if you want to say equipment, O is for optics, P is for your position, right? So we'll say, why does your position matter? Well, if you're shooting at an angle down, that changes where your point of impact is going to be, right? To hunters, that might be important to them. If you're shooting from a tree stand, right? Bullet placement, most of them will tell you that. And the other thing it tells you about, how does the environment, affect where you're going to shoot? What does the sun have for an effect? How's wind work? What I want folks to have from this class is a definitive understanding of where their elevation knob needs to be and how they should set it. So it becomes second nature to you. There's holdovers and there's those other things that we're going to do, especially in the Rifle 101 for people that come with, scout rifles. And scout scopes, especially the Birches brand, there's holdovers that they build right into those scopes for BDC, bullet drop compensators. But for this class, this is for those folks that they've got long range optics. They like to shoot things far away, and they're very good. And when Jamie and I were talking about this, he said, I really have people that have a need that they want to do something what really challenges them. I'm like, well, I said, you've come to the right place. Michael and I have done this, and we'll recreate. In essence, you're going to get something that most people will never get. Two guys that are world ranked that are going to run you through the same course. That's why if you're coming to this and you have a rifle that is not very accurate, you're going to be frustrated. You're going to be frustrated. You're not going to be able to show up to this thing and, pull out a hunting rifle with a rickety Weaver scope and mount and say, yeah, I want to do this. I want to do this precision course. You're going to be frustrated by the time we get out to 400 yards. You're going to be like, all right, I can't even put a round anywhere near the center.
Well, I know, David, you've ordered at least 4, maybe 5 rifles for people that are attending the October camp, scout rifles, so that they would have the proper equipment. So if you're planning on attending camp, you're already making an investment into the camp. You want to make sure you have the right equipment, and we'll get you hooked up with that. If you're not sure what to buy, and don't just go to your local Cabela's and say, hey, I need some type of rifle. Let us give you the recommendations of what to get. And all the equipment, and we'll get you hooked up either with David, or if you have someone locally that you want to order from, we'll tell you exactly what the information is that you need to be able to take in there. And if they can't get it, we'll get it taken care of for you. Right?
Those people that are purchasing those scout rifles, hopefully they're at that Thursday class for the Rifle 101, because that's going to be their P's and Q's for that puppy.
Right.
I mean, they'll know that's where the bullet drop compensator will come in, and all that stuff will be gone over, especially if we have a bunch of people that have, similar equipment.
So here's another question is, what about an AR platform in comparison, someone that wants to bring that platform?
Well,
you can, but it's not. You're not going to have the consistency.
Okay.
Our platforms are bolt action for when we do precision long distance shooting. You have less moving parts. You have much more consistency with the rifle.
So bolt action is the way that we're recommending. Go ahead.
Well, but there's some people. I got a terrible lag. There are some people that have an AR-10 that is a 308 that is very accurate and they're very comfortable with it. And Some of them are very accurate. I mean, that gets right back down to knowing your equipment. If you're not being able to print a 1-inch group at 100 yards, I'd rethink your position.
Okay. All right. If you guys have questions too
And
while we're online, type
there's
them in the comments.
There's always the outlier. There's always the unicorn.
Hmm.
You're gonna have an example of the person that shoots better than the guy next to him with a bolt action with high-end equipment or whatever.
Right.
They're out there. I'm not saying it's impossible, because we're always going to have somebody that later on is going to post a comment. Oh, well, I can do X, Y, and Z. Sure. Okay, you can. But majority of the time, we're not seeing that.
Right. And Ed brought up, and the reason why I want to bring up that question is Ed brought up about the equipment. If everyone on the line has a bolt action, it makes things, a little bit smoother in what you're teaching and how you're working with the drills, right? So our recommendation is the bolt action for the technicians class, and you have to be approved by us in order to attend the technicians class. So past attendees have already enrolled into technicians class because we know their performance level. If you're thinking that you want to attend the technicians class, you need to reach out to us, message us through our social media channels, or go to our website, t4survival.com, and message us. And we'll have either Ed or Mike give you a call directly and have a conversation with you about your experience level and talk a little bit more in depth about technicians class. And we might say you need to come in and do the Rifle 101 before you can do the technicians class. So
what was the guy who made the knives? Dave.
David Hall. Yep.
Dave.
No, he was. Here's a clue. I don't remember what Dave was shooting, but he had a 6.5 Creedmoor, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not sure if that was an AR platform or not, but no, it was a bolt.
I think it was a bolt.
I think
it was a bolt. You're thinking of Darren. Darren had the 6.5 Creedmoor.
Well, he was drilling it.
Oh,
you know what I mean? There's one of your unicorns right there, Mike. Because I mean, here's a clue too, by the way. If you're shooting a 6.5 Creedmoor, you probably got a rifle that's shooting really well, as my guess. I don't know a lot of people go out and spend the money on a 6.5 Creedmoor to miss. That's the new round. I mean, if I was starting over in this game, I'd probably have a 6.5 Creedmoor.
Got it. Another question that we get is, in the past camp, we allowed people to come in and just do a section of the camp. So we are going to allow that for this camp if there's still room. Where if someone wanted to come in and just do the Rifle 101 with you for that half day on Thursday, that could be an option if there's room, and you don't have to do the full camp. And there's going to be a couple of pistol training options as well, where you could do part of day 1 or part of day 2. But once we get into like Friday, you need to be a full camp attendee, and a lot of the majority of the camp is going to be for full attendees only, that you're not going to have access to that training with us unless you're doing the full camp. And that's really, where you're going to get the best bang, I guess, for your buck, pun intended, when you come in and you do the full camp, because not only are you working the full days of training, but if you end up staying with us at the Birches, or you have a property close to us, you're sitting by the campfire at night, you're having the conversation with us about things that are going on in the community and in the world, and being able to get a lot of information, more so than you're getting on the range, when you're able to sit around with us and kind of talk during dinner time, lunchtime, and sitting around the campfire at night and having discussions there as well. So yes, there will be an opportunity, if there's still room in certain parts of the classes, to be able to do just those individual ones. Those will be posted on the website. If you're not on our website email list, please head over there to t4survival.com, fill out a contact us form, and just put in the form there. Please sign me up for your email list, and we'll get you added, so we keep you updated on camp and all of the various options that we'll have for you. So let's go over. Do you have something else you want to add?
That's kind of a. Yeah, I think it was a good point. It's an experience.
Yeah.
It's not just on the range working on your shooting. There's more to it. The time afterwards. I mean, granted, I know I'm wonderful, but how could you not want to spend time with me around the campfire?
Yeah.
No, but you get a lot more out of it. It's
all about
not
Michael.
Just we're there to on the right. It's all about
real life South Watch.
No, but there is more to it. Hanging out and building that camaraderie with everybody, and we get as much out of it as everybody else does.
It's a T4 family. And I know that people are like,
it's really good
sure
conversations, for sure.
But listen to the testimonials. People return to us time after time again for camps. And if they can't make one because of family obligation or other things, they're coming to the following one afterwards just because of the camaraderie and the family that we've built, that they feel so comfortable to have those open dialogue conversations and get that internationally recognized training that you're getting with us. I mean, there is not, I can't think of any other organizations that are out there that are offering what we offer. And with the team that I have with you guys that can give you that world-class training, and tell me if there is, but I haven't seen it. And I have lots of people that come to our training camps that have attended other trainings around the country and around the world. They're like, man, you guys got it. You've got the synergy, you've got the energy, you've got the camaraderie with your team and the way that we're able to work in environments and go through drills. And I'm very proud of that. I'm proud of what we have right now. And I want to share that with you and share our knowledge. We're here to share our knowledge with you. So doing full camp, you get access to us. You get to know us a little bit on the personal level, which I think is important. And you're around like-minded people. And depending on where you live in this country, that might be something that you desire to have, is like-minded people that you can pull information from and have open dialogue and conversations and get suggestions on things that are happening in your neck of the woods, right? Let's talk about emergency communications, which is going to be another part of camp. So we're going to talk about different types of radios. Like we've got these little handheld radios that we've been testing and reviewing, and we've got mobile units, Mesh-tastic, which Mike and Edward have kind of been taking the lead on that, where David and I are kind of taking the lead on the handheld and the GMRS and ham radios and walkie-talkies and FRS radios and all stuff we're going to kind of dive into when you're at camp. And Mesh-tastic is a big trending word right now. And I know a lot of you have asked about making purchases of Mesh-tastic units and handhelds before you come. So if you're interested in that information, when you message us or give us a call, we'll get you that information, what we suggest that you have to bring up to camp. And we'll have stuff for you to test and play with as well. But Mike and Edward, if you don't mind talking just briefly, an overview, what is Mesh-tastic? And how can it be utilized? Why would people want to kind of attend and learn a little bit more about it? And you don't have to spill the beans on everything, but give them a little 30-second commercial here.
It's probably the easiest way to send encrypted messages in a text format to people around you, I guess is be the best way to
better
to describe it.
On your own homegrown network.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Remember the title of this camp, right? Is shit hits the fan, things are gone sideways, and you need to be able to communicate with loved ones and family members, and you want it encrypted, and you want to be able to communicate with them when other communications aren't available to you. And this is what the system is going to...
And the silent.
Right. Yeah. And silent as well. And that's why we have multiple layers in our communications plan. Radios, right? Not silent, but a great way to communicate. But if we need to be silent, we have these other options for you. So we're going to really dig in deep on all those options and educate you on what you need to do to have a shit hits the fan plan with your family members and friends and loved ones. The other thing we're going to go over, guys, besides emergency communications, is hemorrhage control, and suturing is going to be taught at this camp. So what happens if you're with someone and you're on your way to a bug out location, or hell, you could be walking on ice up here and slip and fall and get a compound fracture and you got a bone sticking out. And what do you do exactly to stop that bleed and wait for emergency personnel to arrive? Or what if you don't have access to emergency personnel? You're in a situation where, hey, it's you and you've got to do self-medical and emergency trauma. How do you stop that bleed? How do you suture yourself? And that's, or a loved one. And that's what we're going to be covering this camp. Do you guys want to add anything about that?
Yeah, I was just going to say, with the suturing, it's going to be a hands-on. Everybody's going to have the opportunity to actually do this, and it's not going to be just a presentation. So you're actually going to try it out on some. I don't want to give too much away, but it's going to be a great part of the camp that you can take away for sure for first aid.
And we appreciate Mike for volunteering for that part. But
really
he was the last one on the call, so he drew the short straw. I don't think he knew that.
Everybody bring their X-Acto knife with us.
Something just came up. I just thought it was this year. You guys are there.
The stapler. When he volunteered for the stapler, I was shocked.
Wow.
Hey,
Nice
super
guy.
glue.
So we're going to go over all of this stuff at camp and being able to teach you emergency medical if you need to do self-aid to yourself or to a loved one. And this could also work well in when we start talking about go bags and emergency stuff that you have on you. If you're in a situation where you're in an active shooter event and you might be hit with a round or a loved one and you're down on the ground and you've got hours before emergency personnel can get to you. You are not able to leave the property that you're on. Emergency personnel are trying to find the shooter. You're being held down someplace in a lockdown position. And, emergency responders, until that shooter is neutralized, they're most likely going to be stepping over you and just, we'll be back, and continuing to go toward that threat. So it's going to be important for you to be able to render self-aid for yourself and your loved ones to be able to, survive an event like that. So that's going to be a very important part of the training. We've had it in past camps and we're bringing it back for this one because a lot of people have asked for either a refresher or said, hey, that I'm concerned about what to do if something happens. So we're going to go over go bag, contents of go bag, medical kits, and all of that. And we've created a relationship with a couple of medical companies that we're going to have some products here that we can discuss with you as well at camp. You guys want to add anything else about the medical, emergency, hemorrhage control, medical suturing? No? If you guys have questions online,
Huge. Well, it's huge. It's huge that people know this stuff because, when it goes bad and you have to, one of the things we'll talk about maybe over some of the campfires will be, I've been in some of the sandbox exercises where we've talked about bad things happen, and Mike's participated in those with me as well, where, that is going to help is not going to be coming right away. There's some stories. I remember when I went down to St. Tammany Parish and was down there, and they were talking about after Hurricane Katrina came through. So, there's a lot of these things where a lot of surprises what people think would happen.
They have a lot of plans
training
in place, but the reality is, the reality of implementing a lot of their solutions are unrealistic.
Right.
They anticipate having roads that are still accessible or just access to supplies, and it's just not going to happen. You got to get to the location. They're going to hand stuff out. I mean, if it's that bad, you can't travel.
And that's
right.
And that's fantasy too, because when a lot of this stuff then it's set up, I swear I used to always say this all the time, it's a feel good exercise. You're handing out cartons of water and stuff like that. Like for the exercises, and I'm thinking, my God, this is going to be so bad if something ever happens. That's so this medical one. I'm not trying to downplay the rifle one because obviously I'm looking forward to doing that, but the medical portion of this is the reason why it needs to be part of the, attend the whole camp, because this one part alone, I was like, wow, I'll be a student for that watching, because you never can have enough knowledge there. There's a book out there, by the way, if the people are really interested. It's called Ditch Medicine. And it was written by a guy named Hugh Coffey, if you can get a copy of it. And he was in Guatemala, I believe it was. And he did a lot of and he's a fireman now, or he was in Georgia. I've lost contact with him, but he was a guy, and the reason why he called it ditch medicine was because all the stuff that he did in this book is stuff that he did out in the field to save lives. So, or was it Guatemala, Rwanda? I forget what the hell he was. He was in some backwater place. And those are the kind of books you want to read, because those are probably what you're going to be dealing with, with supplies. He was amazing. When he lived in my old house, he actually spent the night at my house. And I've got a copy of his book here, and trust me, that's gold. That stuff's gold. He was brilliant. But that's a good book, for folks to pick up if they're really looking to build up their library. Remember, if you have it on a thumb drive, it might not survive. But if it's in a book
type of event, and we're going to talk about all those different type of events. Shit at the fan could be, someone hacks into the power grid and power goes out. It could be your internet is taken out of a place and 911 phones are down, and chaos starts breaking out. It could be an occurrence that happens for weather, a tornado, a hurricane, flooding rains. It could be so many things that associate with the shit hits the fan type of scenario, and all of these skills can be used in all of them, right? So it's going to be an important standard for you guys to be able to take this and have this opportunity to train with us. Anything else you guys want to add? And I'll look up that book. And if you're watching this this live stream and there's a link to the book, I will add it into the description. If you're on with us now and you have any questions, we're going to be signing off in a few minutes. Please put them in the comments. If you like this content and you're watching the replay, please hit that like button. We appreciate it. It helps us with the YouTube algorithm, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Anything you guys want to add in before we sign off for the night?
No, the only thing I'm
looking for. Oh, sorry. The lag is so bad.
Good.
Hello.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, one thing that Ed did say is, this stands out to me for the whole camp, is no one's coming, right? Like, this is why you're coming to camp. It's for medical. It's for your proficiency with firearms.
Right. It's
your proficiency of engaging a threat, knowing what to do, how to protect your family. It's the whole camp. So the reality is it's a family event. If you have, husband, wife, kids, we've seen
a lot
it all.
Of husband, wives that come.
Great opportunity to
bring their
kids, family,
which is fantastic. And we've had kids in their, teens that have attended, and highly recommend it. Start them young, educate them young. I mean, this is, phenomenal.
We've had a couple, right?
Yeah.
That have attended a couple camps, and they're just getting better and better. One kid came really shy, right? We all know who he is. He's phenomenal. He does a great job.
And that smile on his face when he's pinging that target.
I know. Yeah. But, he's someone that could be a benefit to his family to help protect. God forbid they ever needed to.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a good point, because he came without his parents. Both parents retired military, wanted him to attend this camp to build his confidence, sent him to the camp. And again, a different human being and a changed person with confidence level now that can proficiently handle a firearm, which is an asset if things start to happen. And, you brought up one more good point that I want to touch upon. People ask about, when do I take that shot? When is it, okay, I've got to do this now. And everyone has a different belief system of when that line in the sand is. And that's something we discuss a lot in camps. We also discuss that it's important for you to have a meeting with yourself, a come to Jesus moment where you're like, okay, if things happen, am I willing to go to that far extent to be able to save my life and my family's life? And everyone is like, yeah, I definitely can. I would do that. But would you really? And that's something that we're going to discuss and delve into as well at camp. And also, if there is an incident and you end up, taking, a shot to save your life and a loved one's life, what do you do right after that shot? Police are arriving. What are some things you need to know? And you're going to get them from law enforcement. You're going to get those answers from Michael and from Edward, and talk about, okay, what happens after the incident? What are some things you need to be aware of? And that's an education in itself that is invaluable. So you're very, very important that you guys attend camp and you get the most out of this camp, and you damn well will, right?
You get that time like we keep talking about, you get the time afterwards at the campfire with the live Ask Me Anything.
Yeah.
And there's some pretty interesting questions they get asked at the campfires.
Right.
It's not crazy stuff. It's just interesting. People are afraid to ask questions.
Stuff that everybody wants to know, but won't open their mouth to ask.
Right. And then, you get that comfort, and it's some really cool conversations and very enlightening even for us. Cause being instructing and just answering or a question or having to think about that answer, it brings a lot to everybody involved. The person asking the question and the reflection you have to have, or the thought process going through how to answer it their best way, and what really is what they're asking for.
Agreed. Well, guys, I think that's going to take it to our end for tonight. I appreciate everyone joining us. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, please hit that like button. Thanks for joining us tonight. One other thing I'd like to mention is a big props before you salute to the Birches Resort, who is our exclusive facility that we use. That's where all of our attendees stay, providing us with food and accommodations and equipment and stuff the Birches, John and Tanya, phenomenal people and really top notch. And they've been taking care of us since our first camp in 2018. And we love you guys. Thank you for all that you do. And thank you to the rest of the Birches staff, Paul, who basically our private chef when we're there, cooking our meals, and the wait staff, and Marsha at the front desk, which if you're going to be making a reservation to stay there, you're going to ask for Marsha, and she handles all of our reservations there. And so many people. I don't mean to exclude anyone at the Birches, but you are all awesome. Joel and Sierra and Zach and everybody else. Appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Thank you for everything you do and for our attendees every time they come to camp. I think that's it, guys. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you on the next live stream, which will probably be on in the next couple of weeks. If there's some kind of content or something you'd like us to cover, please put it in the comments or send us a message, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys soon. Be safe, everyone. God bless you. God bless America, right? Good night.
God bless America.
Good
See you
night.
guys.
Take care.